Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today, it's gonna be a team match featuring Hiya, and I'm not sure who anybody else is, but this is from the Hiya pack that I got off of teamliquid.net in the forums. I figure that Hiya wouldn't play with anybody else, well, anybody who's a scrub, so let's get right on into it here. All right, so Team 1 is going to be represented by the Teal Zerg player, Fornin. We've got HO9 down at the bottom. He's Protoss. We have 0673027512. I'm going to call him 06. He's red. He's Protoss. And then we have this guy here, who the pack says is Hiya, playing under the Smurf name Glow La Luz. Now, nothing in the Smurf name list that I have verifies any of that information. But I'm going to assume these guys are who they say they are. This is Hiya, and everybody else is great. The other team is the orange Protoss player, Lin Movie. I looked at Movie under the Smurf name list, and this is not one of his official Smurf names, but it could be Movie. I don't see why not. And then on, let's see, up here, his teammate's going to be GH Arrow. We've got Youngmin Peace and Hoya Hank. We're going to red versus blue this thing because holy smokes. Just know this is Hiya. Over here, he's tapping his 270, 280 APM. Everybody else over 200, with the exception of a couple of these players. A couple of the Protoss aren't really worrying about it, which is generally how these things work. So I'm excited. I'm stupid excited for this. Team games, man. You guys want some team games? I've got some bonus content for you here on the channel. You guys wanted some bonus content during the quarantine times when you're stuck at home, and I said, let's do it. Let's give the people some bonus casts. I usually don't put Brood War up on Fridays, but here we are. We got some Brood War up on Fridays, so who knew? Who saw this coming? I did. I certainly did, but yeah, at least as long as everybody's stuck at home, I'm going to do a little bit of bonus content here, maybe one extra StarCraft 2, one extra Brood War cast a week. Maybe two, depending on what I have access to. It just depends on how I feel, how much time I have during the day. But yeah, hit that like button if you're excited for a team game featuring Hiya and who these players are. Like, let's hear your theories. Who do you think these players could be? I like the idea that Movie's just playing under the name Movie with a different little prefix on it. That's fun. I don't know who Young Mean Peace would be. Like, who's this Zerg player going for the early Ling harass? Possibly trying to kill somebody. I don't know. He's a mystery, but it's very fun. Early Lings from this Zerg player too. That is a trick you have to learn. Is that if you don't go for pool first and have stuff ready to go with Lings and Sunkens, you'll get rushed by somebody and die if you're Zerg. It's just, that is the circle of life. It's just a reality, I say, as somebody who's played a lot of games on maps like these as Zerg. It's not a good feel. So these Lings, bring in a Zealot with them to try to knock down this front wall of Hiya's. They're going after Hiya because he's scary, man. Let's go. Turns out Marines behind a hard wall, though, pretty good against Lings and Zealots. Actually, that's not a hard wall at all. Is it? Oh, he's stuck. He's stuck outside. That really sucks for him. Oh, boy. Overlords are scouting around. They're making me think there's attacks going on, but there are definitely not. I don't know why we keep getting this URL pasted into the chat, but it's there anyway. So we're setting up. Oh, are we going to cannon? Yes. They're trying to kill Hiya fast. I cannot blame them for this. I really can't, but Hiya's going to come on in, try to deal with... Man, the Zealots are the biggest problem. If these Zealots weren't here, the Lings would be easier to handle, and the cannons too. SCVs fighting, and then the teammates arrive. Hooray! Teammates arriving from Team Red to save Hiya's butt. Gonna lose a couple SCVs here, but the cannon rush is aborted at the very least, and these Lings should be dealt with sooner rather than later here. Yeah, forward pylon down, Ling versus Ling action. Pylon out, Zealot versus Ling, and only against Ling. Pretty good stuff here. And, I mean, it's really unfortunate here, but that's what happens in team games. Is somebody usually gets teamed up on early, bad things happen to them, and then they have to try to recover. And we have seen players recover from the situation, especially if they're really good, and stupid good, as Hiya is. So I'm liking this. Lings take down another SCV. They might kill a Marine here, which totally sucks. But no, the Lings are dealt with, and there's no more blue infestation in Hiya's base. Meanwhile, bit of a cannon contain attempted here against bottom right Terran player. It doesn't go super well for the contain, as these cannons are getting wrecked. Zealots joining the party, and that should be it for the attempt. So Nobody dies early. I like this. I really love it when nobody dies super early in team games. We're 5 minutes into this thing and nobody has actually been murdered yet, which is exactly what I look for. I mean, I didn't watch this in advance because I don't have the time to do that, but nice. All right, so we're three racks in it. Hiya is throwing up a defensive pylon instead of an offensive pylon this time to contain him. This will defend him. It's just Lings and Zealots. We're going to see people tech up from time to time, but for the time being, it's Marines, it's Zealots, it is Zerglings in production, it's Medics in production. Is anybody going for anything crazy according to that production tab? Not that I can see. It's just early rushes are so strong. If someone's trying to tech up and they get hit by one of these like combined Ling Marine Zealot pushes, they just die. Right before the cannons finish warping in, Team Blue relentlessly going after Hiya here, and I cannot blame them for that at all. The cannons don't do anything. He only has a handful of Marines and Medics here. He's got Stim and he's got the Medics. He's got additional Defenders advantage Marines coming out here. Where is Red? Come help your guy. Come help Hiya. They decide, all right, maybe we will. I kind of think they could have got in there. The Zealot Marine Ling combo with Medic support is just enough to overwhelm what Hiya's rolling with here. I don't know if that was the right choice to back out. It's cool. Who's teching up? Somebody's teching up. Got a Templar Archives on the way from down south Protoss here for Team Red. Another Archives from the other Protoss for Team Red. So I assume we're going to see Storm. Like, one thing that's good if your opponents are going for a lot of Lings and a lot of Marines is Storm. Like, insanely good. Look at this attack, though. Oh my gosh. Too many. Too much everything right now. Can he hold? And it looks like the answer is no. But then the reinforcements come in after all of Hiya's stuff is dead. Reinforcements do pop in here and try to make something happen. Additional blue Lings show up, though. This has just been chaos. But it looks like Team Red is going to have the advantage just because Zealots have legs. And I know it doesn't make them hit harder, but it just makes them better units. I feel like they do better in fights against Lings when they have the legs upgrade. They don't have anything else, mind you. Neither do the Marines, neither do the Lings. We're just running unupgraded stuff here today, which is fine. We'll get there eventually. I do see some +1 attacks coming in for Protoss across the board. But yeah, I mean, this is this is absolutely crazy. Ooh, are there mutas? Oh, wait, hang on. I thought I saw mutalisks. No, nobody's making mutas. There's too many Lings running around. Nobody has been droning up hard enough to go for that. It's Hunters, too. So, oh my, Ling Flood! You don't have 2 gas in your main base, so you can't go 1 base muta like you can on big game Hunters. Using the Sim City to try to hold, and he does. Ling's rolling out of there for some reason for Team Blue, and there's DTs for Team Blue in the mix. Ah, so that's what this... Do you have it? Where's your Templar Archives? How are there blue DTs? Oh, it's over here behind the production tab. Okay, we got it. We made it. Hiya, he's like, can I just be left alone for 10 seconds? That's all I want. He has to pull all the way back. Look at this. Look at all of this blue here. There's so much blue here. Finally, he's like, fine, I'll invest in some bunkers, for heaven's sakes. I'm not even sure that's enough to save me, but reinforcing... Actually, yes, reinforcing Zealots coming in for Team Blue, reinforcing Zealots coming in from Team Red. I like... Ah, +1 is done for Team Red Zealots here. Actually, for Blue, too. So even upgrades for the Zealots, anyway. The Lings don't have upgrades for Team Blue or Team Red, at least on this particular location. And the middle is just going to be a complete bloodbath from now on. I just feel like nobody's going to be able to hold it. These teams seem pretty even. If nobody's died in a 4v4 in the first 10 minutes, that says a lot. It really, really does. Highest hitting here at 380, 390 APM. I really keep thinking this is an attack, but it's just an Overlord hanging out over here being annoying and scouting everything that's happening here at Blue Zerg base. Storm in production. DT's in production. What are the Zerg players doing? Are they just going to be Lings forever with no upgrades? At least we're getting a lair here from Blue Zerg up north. That counts for something, I guess. But the other Zergs are just not interested in going up at all in tech. I mean, at least they have speed, right? Hiya ends up winning that one. Comes in with his Marines, makes a big difference. He's purple. When we're swapped off, blue making an actual concerted attempt to wipe out red in the top right here, who isn't teching up. And as a result, he's able to survive. So it's kind of it's a bad thing in team games that way. Like, in 1v1, if you don't tech up, you die. But in team games, if you tech up at the wrong time, you die. Which is horrible. What's Hiya at? He's at 66 total supply, which is more of 67, which is more than anybody else in the game so far. Yeah, he's probably the best player here. And I feel like he's going to go on a bit of a rampage right now. We got Ling versus Ling action all over the place. Looks like Hiya has some words to say. He's jumping in. Oh, look who's going for a lair. Yeah, everyone's in trouble. We got Stim Marines here with medic support from Hiya. It's going to wipe out your spawning pool, take down your macro hatches, really ruin your day. Storm is out, though, for someone. I think it's for Team Red. Oh, Team Blue has High Templar as well. So these players are really doing the same strategies. Nobody seems to be diverting from the race plan, if that makes any sense. All the Zerg players are going Lings, trying to go for a lair. All the Protoss players are just going for Zealots and High Templar with Storm. And that's it. Peace is out with his 200 APM. Not able to hang. Team Blue loses a player. And this is where things start to snowball in these team games. Yeah, and then Terrans are just like Marines and medics. That's all we can pretty much do here, apparently. I can't really go tanks because there are so many Zealots out from the Protoss. I guess that makes sense. Defensive High Templar and Lings, not a bad idea. And Red's holding the center. Hiya is up to 74 supply. He's actually not number 1 anymore in that. We've got 06 is up. And Movie's up ahead of him in total supply here, too. That could be the real movie, you guys. I don't know. Either way, just running through the storm. Got Hoya Hank here with his 230 APM. He's trying to hold against the onslaught of Team Red. It is Hiya joining the party. And he just has too much. This High Templar is part of the red team here, so he's going to be allowed to hang out. But yeah, I mean, this is where things go bad. Blue's got hey, we have a couple mutas out here. From Arrow, nicely done. I like getting the muta tech. That is one thing. If your opponent is going for a ton of Lings early and you don't see anything that requires gas, they're saving up that gas for Mutalisks. It's a bit of a tell. And it's really popular in team games to go mutas too. So can Hoya here hold on? I don't know. This is a lot of Marines. They don't have any upgrades except for Stim, but they are still mean, mean boys. Bit of an engagement up this way. I don't know who came out on top. There's a lot of blood, but no ground was gained by either party there. And that's it for Hoya Hank. So Hiya single-handedly holding on. Okay, not single-handedly holding on. He had some help to stay alive in the early stages of this game. But then was able to wipe out both a Zerg and a Terran player on the other team with pretty much just Marines and medics. They had a little help with some High Templar with Storm there, but that was about it. These guys are chatty for sure. Now the question is, how much Storm do you have, and how many Marines can you kill with said Storm? Yeah. So we got the remaining blue players are stuck in the top left-hand corner. We have some Mutalisks, which would be good except for the fact that there are a bunch of Marines out. They'd be great against the Zealots and the DTs. And the Zerglings. But when it comes down to it, unfortunately, Marines are their nemesis. Nemesis? Whatever. This muta count is still not huge. I mean, again, he's a one-basing Zerg. You can't make a ton of Mutalisks with one base as a Zerg player. And the Storm is a problem. Did I mention Sonic Storm is out? But yeah, a bunch of Team Red players have taken 2 bases. And I mean, sure, Protoss top left here Movie does have 2 bases too, but the Zerg player is only on 1. Are we using... we're using the tanks. Hiya did make some tanks to absolutely shut down the attempt to take in the natural base here by Movie. And Maelstrom's being researched by Movie. Big time attack coming in just with traditional units, Lings and Zealots, man. Good storm up there on the blue, weakening a lot of these units. Defensive storms being used pretty effectively here too. And Team Blue manages to hold the line there. Are you seriously going Dark Archons? I gotta say, I would not say no to a Dark Archon Storm combo against Hiya. That would be cool. But yeah, these tanks, oh, they can hit the Nexus. This is such a tank-friendly map. That's something I've seen RGB complain about quite a bit on Hunters and Big Game Hunters, is the fact that you can set up tanks and shoot across these little rivers all the time, and you're going to kill stuff. And it's really hard to stop that from happening, no matter who you are. Mutas are trying to pick off Marines here by doing the stacking trick. Not a bad idea. We got Zealots and Dragoons in here. Defensive Zealots. Fornin has some thoughts. I haven't said Fornin's name today. Oh, that's because he died. Wait, he's back. He's alive. He did hold on top right. I just figured he was more dead than this, but he did hold on. That's correct. What does he have to offer here? He's okay. Well, he's working on 6 mutas. That's what he has to offer here. Oh, look who's rebuilt. I thought Hoya was done. Hoya Hank. Yes, bringing it back. Never surrender. Never give up. That's what they teach in Korean StarCraft Academy. Unless you're dead, don't quit. He wasn't dead. He rebuilt his command center. He's got an army down here. He's got his own Marine medic stuff going. I like this. But he's only at 45 supply, and several players are at 80 or above. So number-wise, it doesn't bode well here for Team Blue at all. They're down a player. And they're down another half player if you say that Hoya Hank is 50% dead, which I think is a fair way to express it. Now, Movie did research Maelstrom. And I'd like to know if that was a mistake. His income is toast. He just mined out of his main. His natural's not happening. That's the problem with these team games sometimes, especially on Hunters, and that's why Big Game Hunters exist. Maelstrom. Oh! All right. Maelstrom Goliath. That is a combo. If I ever saw one. Movie leaves the game. He recognizes he's toast. And I think that might lead everybody else to realize that they're done here as well. A handful of mutas are just not going to do much for Arrow. Hoya Hank's just getting wrecked by a combination of Zealots and Marines. In the bottom right, he tried to hold on as long as he could. Couldn't quite pull it off. We have Archons and DTs up here. Just wrecking the Zerg player. Top right is technically alive, but there's a bunch of Mutalisks that probably couldn't kill him in any second if they wanted to. Muta versus Muta action here. And that's it. Hoya Hank leaves the game, tosses out the 9-9. 9-9. Fortin out as well, and Hiya's team is the winner. Congratulations to Hiya, including his teammates Fornin, H09, and 06, 7302, 7512, for getting the victory here today. Yeah, I mean, the key things were here, keeping Hiya alive during the early aggression. His teammates did come help him. That's massive. They didn't let him die early, though it looked very close in the early going. He had Lings all over his base. Had to clean them out, had to deal with the rest of the units out over this way. And then Hiya's subsequent ability just to wipe out Zerg player over this way. This was Peace, right? I want to say this was Peace. Yeah, Yellow Drone says that. So Peace is dead, and then it turns into 3v4, and then he wipes out Hoya Hank. Doesn't quite wipe him out all the way, but enough to slow him down immensely. And then it's just Movie, and then once you set up tanks over here to wipe out Movie's natural base, and he mines out of his main, it's only a matter of time. The Zergs didn't really accomplish much today, other than outside of the early Ling stuff. They never really got up a big Mutaflock to be entirely scary, and then we just had Goliaths. Oh, man, we had the Goliaths. Hang on a second. This wasn't actually Movies. This was 067302's Dark Archon. Was he researching Maelstrom? I thought it was Movie. I was wrong about that because he teamed up with Hiya, right? Yeah. He teamed up. He maelstromed those Mutalisks, and then the Goliaths took him down. Okay, I apologize. That was you who was awesome, Mr. 06. Well played. Well played indeed. Really pretty much unmolested. Was able to go up to 2 base. And then same thing here with HO9. Not really bothered from what I could tell. And if you can get to 2 base in a team game like this when everybody else is struggling to do so, you're going to be all right. As we can see here, 119 supply from 06. That's more than Hiya was rolling with. Amazing. And then Brown, 65. Only 65 here too, but I think he's just been super aggressive with his units and ended up supplying some, some Zealots and DTs and whatnot. Well, there you go. Fun game. I've got more of these. So if you want more of these, let me know. Super, super high-level team stuff. Pretty good. Pretty entertaining, I gotta say. Looks like at the end of the day here, 89,000 points for Hiya is enough to win the day. 74,000 for Movie. And then third place was 63,000 with 067302. I want to know who that was. Real curious as to who that was here. It's like Arrow produced the most units. That was a lot of blue Zerglings, to be sure. Ends up not making as much of a difference, though. A bunch of buildings razed and lost. And yeah, Movie, ton of gas mine, ton of minerals mine, ton of total spent. But not quite enough to overcome the fact that Peace didn't do much. Arrow didn't do much. And then 067302, fantastic. Hiya, fantastic. Great game. Really fun, but that's going to be it for me today for your bonus StarCraft Brood War match. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. Whoa, and until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.